Hello, everybody. Good morning. It's Friday morning, June 18th, 2021. Got a live stream this morning. If you were to scroll down below the video, you see the description area that shows you the email sent to me by Lee Chamberland. And Lee says, let's see, this is June 15th, so 3 days ago. I'd like to talk tech with you and learn from your point of view. I am a computer tech person, but I am always wanting to learn from others. And I would love to get your feedback and your point of view on Windows and hardware alike. And so, with no further ado, I'm going to punch over here to the Zoom session button and unmute Lee's microphone. And there we go. Hello, Lee. How are you doing? All right, good. Oh, good. So let's see. We're going to be getting, I see Gary Weisenberger is in the chat. So let's get an AVDW check. Here's my watch. And Gary, if you'll tell us about the audio, visual, and DVR. Oh, the DVR, I haven't set it yet. So let me fix that right now. All right, I just turned the DVR on. So give that a few seconds, Gary, and then test it. And let us know how volume is. I'm going to pop out the chat. And Lee, would you go ahead and tell us where are you at in the United States? Prescott, Maine. Okay. Yeah, well, I had the Google Earth thing running at the beginning of the video. So when I first saw where you're at, I think, wow, we couldn't be further apart and still be in the continental U.S. Yeah, really. Wow. I'm thinking, how can I could get a little closer to the coast, I suppose, but yeah, we're kind of on opposite corners. So yeah, I guess so. And I've had a few guests from over the seas too, and we've had good connections. So this is just terrific with the technology we have these days. I really enjoy it. So you describe yourself as you called a computer tech person. So why don't you give us a little more meaning to that? Do you currently earn your living as a computer technician or moving that direction, or where are you at? Okay. Okay. Get it. Yeah, you said you have a gaming computer, and I am connected remotely to your computer, so we could let you show off a little bit. Oh, I see a message here that they can't hear you. Let me check on a couple things. Is it that Lee's not loud enough, or you can't hear him at all in the chat room? Oh, no, I see what he did. Yep. Oh, man, I'm so glad to have you. Let's see, Patrick told us about that. So, well, hello, Lee. How are you?
Doing good. What happened?
They didn't. I have two places where I mute our microphones while the Google Earth thing is running, and I unmuted you on the Zoom microphone, but I didn't unmute you within my streaming software. So I was able to hear you through Zoom, but they weren't able to hear you. So here's my slap on the wrist, 2 demerits. So how good is your short-term memory to repeat everything? I'll let
Maine.
There you go. Prescott, Maine.
I do computer repair, computer tech stuff out of home. I try to go into custom as a business, and it kind of fell under because the economy in Maine is not the greatest, so no one really can afford to pay for what the kind of business I want to do. So now I was forced into working at McDonald's for the last 4 years.
Oh, okay. So you were trying to get into the computer business as building and selling custom built computers.
Yes.
Yeah. And so a really good market for that is gamers, and they're probably a little difficult to find.
Especially up around here, yeah. A lot of my friends and a lot of people who see my computer says that my machine don't belong up here. In fact,
Oh,
I have a video if people would like me to. I could post a link to it so they can take a look at it.
yeah, I need to let me get you. Go ahead and just put something into the chat room. Don't post a link yet because I have to first make you a moderator so that your link will post. I just need your name to show up. There it is. So then, waiting for it to show up on one of my computers. Here it is. And then
How many monitors do you have?
Say again?
How many monitors do you have?
I've got 4 that I'm looking at for the purposes of this video.
Wow, that's a lot of real estate.
Yeah, I've got 2 other monitors over there that I use for working on clients' computers.
Nice.
So let's see now. Yeah, I made you moderator, so go ahead and post the link to your YouTube channel. Hello, Catherine. I see Catherine Anna Hauserman. I see Patrick Erlab, and they're telling us that the audio is good now for both of us. And Catherine's asking people to like the video. We're showing 3 likes right now. We're showing 10 viewers. One of those is me, and one of those is Lee. And there's Lee's channel. And we'll go. Pardon?
That's a direct link to a video which I have just recently created, not even a month ago. It's a full video of my entire setup and layout.
Okay, got it. So that link is for a specific video, not the channel overall. Catherine says gaming PC builds are difficult at the moment due to overpriced GPUs. Certainly, Lee's issue sounds like more has to do with the economy where he's at in Maine and finding the customers for gaming PCs. And I see some hellos going on. So when we switch over to your computer, we'll go take a look at your channel. But then there's another topic that we should get on the table that you told me about before we started that you want to talk about or explore. Yes. Go ahead and tell us about that.
That's my father-in-law's computer. A few days ago, he was working on it just fine. Yesterday morning, something popped up by his email. I'm not sure if it was malware, a virus, or what. And all of a sudden, his telemetry's gone. His Windows Defender is not functioning at all. And his computer is being managed by an organization which he's not put to a business. And he can't get rid of that. He can't do nothing with Windows Defender. His emails won't come in, so things blocked out.
Okay.
It sounds like to me it's probably a malware takeover software or a really nasty virus.
Yeah, that's interesting. I have a live stream scheduled for tomorrow for one of our regulars has been with he's been on my videos before. His mother's computer has a similar symptom where Windows Defender won't activate, or at least doesn't appear to be activated properly, and got a message about that his computer is managed, or her computer is managed by a company or some other entity. That sounds like what you're describing.
Yeah, it came through his email.
Came through his email.
And his email completely blocked. I tried to do a GP edit, group policy editor.
Okay.
Tried to do a force update through that after I disabled a few things in the policy editor.
Okay.
I went into command prompt under administrator, tried to do a GP update forced. It updated successfully, restarted the machine, and it's still on there. So I'm thinking I may have to restore the machine completely.
Well, I want to suggest that you wait until tomorrow's live stream because we're going to have direct access to the computer that has the problem tomorrow. So we'll see what's going on there. We don't have direct access to your father-in-law's computer now. So I don't think we're going to accomplish much with that. Have you actually seen his computer? Have you had hands-on with it? Yeah,
Yes.
you said you did GP edit. So you physically go there, or are you connecting remotely to it?
I'm physically going. I'm going
Okay.
there today to run the restore petition. Hopefully it's not compromised.
Okay. So if we bring your computer up on screen, can you go to the screens on your computer that are involved and describe to us what you were seeing?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to minimize the YouTube video on your computer and then minimize the Zoom session on your computer. Then switch over to your computer, make an adjustment to the picture-in-picture.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, go ahead.
What's your what style computer is yours? Is it Intel or Ryzen or?
It's Intel. It's an i7. It's from 2013. It's an old computer.
It's still quite snappy though.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it does. It does well. Now I'm referring to my streaming computer. My computer number 2 that I'm connected to you is an i5. It's fairly new. I think it's a 10th generation. But the computer I use for streaming, I had it built by a company called DSO, Digital Solutions Online.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, and that was back at a time when my life had not enough time or interest in building at that time, but I wanted a gaming computer because I was heavily involved in the aviation community and wanted to build a flight simulator for use in our clubhouse. And that's what
nice.
This computer was doing for a while. So it's just kind of
been repurposed.
It's been repurposed. Good point. Good point. And back in the 2013, I think it was a spinning hard drive. So let's in chat, Catherine saying changes to group policies editor can cause managed by organization. Oh, that's interesting. Just going into group policies editor can cause Windows 10 to think it's managed by an organization. And then Catherine's asking show system information of Lee's computer. Well, that sounds like a good place to start. So let's do that.
I can do that.
Go ahead.
There you go.
So here we go. So let's look it over. We got Windows 10 Pro. Just looking down from top to bottom. See a computer name. Gigabyte technology. System model B450 Aorus M. AMD Ryzen 5 1400 quad-core processor, 3593 megahertz, 4 cores, 8 logical. SM BIOS 3.3, BIOS mode UEFI, Gigabyte technology, baseboard B450 Aorus. Looking down for anything else worth mentioning. 32 gigabytes of RAM. And is there anything else? I don't think there's anything else we care about scrolling down.
I'm also running virtualization through the machine. Some of my games require it.
Some of your games require virtualization. Okay. Are we looking at a virtual PC right now, or are we at your base?
No, this is my
your
actual
host.
computer.
That's what I figured. I wouldn't think you'd have all that stuff on the desktop for virtual. So if we go down here to storage and take a look at what you have for disk, 512 fixed hard disk drive to 3 terabytes. So that's a spinning drive. And then here we have a 256 gigabyte EMTech SCSI disk device. I don't recognize that. Is that a spinning drive?
That's external.
Oh, that's an there you go. External hard drive. And then we have a USB device. So you don't have any SSD, right?
I have an M.2 Gen 4.
Oh, there is. Okay, I haven't got to that yet. Let's go down further.
I got 3 and 4 terabyte, one for storage and one for games.
Ah, okay. Here's an ST4000
The
fixed hard
ST4000
disk.
is my primary boot drive.
Okay. Here's another fixed hard disk.
That Crucial is for backup for my Windows imaging.
Okay. So, am I not recognizing your M.2?
Hold on a minute. Let me see here.
You have the mouse.
Okay. Let me bring up the property manager here.
Sure.
Because like I told you in that message, this machine has bells and whistles all through it. So I'm trying to make sure I don't red flag you.
Okay.
This right here is my primary.
Okay.
The ADATA SX600 LNP. That's a Gen 4 drive.
All right. Let's populate this and see what this tells us. Uh, 243 gigabytes. And then this Crucial is also an SSD, right?
Yeah, that's an M.2 and then into a SATA 3 adapter.
SATA 3 adapter. Okay.
It's pretty much a solid I build.
Okay.
That Crucial is my imaging drive for my backup utility software. I don't know if you ever heard of Macro Reflect.
Macrium Reflect?
Yeah.
Yes, I use that a lot.
Yeah, I have a pro license copy of it.
A pro license? Okay, yeah, I do too. So I'm a little puzzled. I'm not recognizing your SSD drives through system information. Is there something? And there's a data. So
yeah, that's my primary.
That's one, but it's calling it a fixed hard disk. Does
That's just the way this board reads it.
That's the way your board reads it. Okay, yep. That's curious. That seems.
I have the latest BIOS in my board. I mean,
okay.
Every time Oris releases a BIOS, I update my BIOS because I found BIOS 5.2, 5.2M or 5.2E. It was causing my water pump not to work properly. It was actually shutting it off.
Okay, so you have water cooling. How old is the computer? Gary's asking.
As of right now, it's about 3 years old.
All right.
But I update it every year, so it's staying right up with the times.
Okay, so we've got a little bit of a handle on this computer. Let's go ahead and have you show us what screens you're looking at your father-in-law's computer and describe what you're seeing.
Okay, well, give me a second here. I kind of have my computer set for smart, so that helps. That's not what I'm looking for.
Catherine, I see your question about the BIOS version. We'll go back to that in a little bit.
They want to know about the BIOS version. Hold on a minute.
Yeah, if you know that offhand, go ahead.
I have a utility for that.
Pardon?
I have a utility for that.
Okay.
The Oris App Center.
All right.
BIOS version is F61C.
Okay. Okay, go back to and continue showing us what you're seeing on your father-in-law's computer.
Okay, well, I can do that.
Hello, R.T. Thompson Sr. in the chat. And Darren Gilholm, hello.
Hold on a minute here. I'm kind of lost. Like I said, I'm nervous because it's my first time ever doing this. And
Oh yeah, that's we're all friendly people
okay,
here.
on
Nobody's
this screen
gonna.
right here, right above the check for updates, it says managed by organization, and it gives like learn more. I went in there to try to figure it out, and it's saying that everything all the updates and any changes has to be given permission by the entity that's managing the system.
Okay.
And what I did is I went into here.
Regedit.
And I also went into here
GP edit.
to try to figure out what was going on. And everything I found, you had to go through administrative. You had to go through all settings. And go down through here to look for it, but I couldn't find anything there. So
What were you looking for in here?
The telemetry, because telemetry is supposed to be in the group policy, but it's not there. And I checked his entire telemetry on his Windows, and Windows is like completely foobarred because it can't find it.
Okay, so show us where you were going to find telemetry.
Well, I was under all settings. Telemetry is supposed to be near the bottom. Even my system, I don't think, has that. He runs Windows Pro just like I do, but then he also runs a lot of other security software behind it.
Okay.
Like 360. He runs anti-spyware, anti-malware. He runs all this anti-stuff, and personally, I see no point in it.
I agree with that, and I wouldn't be surprised if those might be the source of the trouble, where they inform Windows that they are managing security, and Windows interpreting that as being managed by a company.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's not even showing on mine either, the telemetry.
Okay, so let me have the mouse for a moment.
Okay.
And I'm going to go down a path that
I probably have never thought of.
Say again?
It's probably a path I never thought of.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go down a direction that is in my mind in regards to telemetry. So I'm going to go to privacy, just the Windows key, and then privacy settings. And then I'm going to struggle a little bit to find my place here. There's a place where we can see what is actually being sent to Microsoft. And I think it's in either one of these two, Windows permissions, app permissions. Catherine says, switch off telemetry and you get issues with updates. Microsoft does not like it. All you get get also managed by organization of telemetry is switched off. Well, now telemetry provides information to Microsoft about your computer so that they know what updates to send to you.
Right.
And without telemetry, Microsoft doesn't know that.
See, so, with the way his is, back up to the top for a minute.
Oh, back up to the top here.
I came in here, I turned it back on to optimal, which is the bottom
optional. Okay.
I turned that back on, but these down here, the two bottom ones wouldn't come back lit up, and I couldn't turn them on. They're completely grayed out.
You couldn't turn these two on?
No.
All right.
They're completely grayed out, which tells me that there's a problem with the telemetry.
Okay. Send optional inking and typing diagnostic data. Yeah, Microsoft doesn't need this on in order to do Windows updates. That's why it's called optional. Tailored experiences, user diagnostic data. Yeah, and that's not necessary either for updates. But you've got that turned on optional. Okay, so then this view diagnostic data, was that probably off because it's off by default?
Yeah, that's off and also grayed out on his too.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that on for you. so that we can go look at this, because this is where my mind turns when somebody starts talking about telemetry. Diagnostic data viewer. So we have to get this app in order to see what data is being sent to Microsoft. So I'm clicking
my
get.
computer's going to behave today.
All right, we'll find out. So it's downloading diagnostic data viewer.
Yeah, I also have a bad habit of messing with scammers too with this system.
Oh, okay. Do you let scammers connect to this to mess with them?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you said, but you use virtual.
I use a lot of virtualization, therefore they're getting red flagged no matter where they go.
Yeah, okay. So then here's launch. So here's what's being sent to Microsoft on your computer. So you talk about telemetry, this is it. So this is showing June 18th at 13:25, so 1:25. You are 3 hours ahead of me. I'm 10:26 here.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's exactly. So at 1:25 and 23 seconds, this was sent, and then this was sent, and all of these things all at 13:25 and 23 seconds. So all of this stuff, as I understand, is part of telemetry. Now, I haven't ever discussed this with somebody or shown it on a YouTube video, so I'm kind of thinking that some of the people in the chat may be recognizing this or have studied into it more than I have. But since we just turned this on for you, your computer is only now starting to collect this information so that we can look at it.
Okay,
but
why am I getting twitching on my screen with this open?
You're getting twitching?
Yeah, the top part of my screen is twitching like a bat.
I'm not seeing it. Can you point the mouse to where you see that?
Right here, right in here. It's like flickering a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any flickering. Not over the YouTube video or on my remote connection to your computer.
Maybe just me. I don't know. I'm very sensitive to how my monitor's acting.
All right. So here, this is a 13:25:23. Since it doesn't change at all through this whole page, we can't even tell that it's increasing. I'm going to click underneath the scroll box, so it goes down one screen worth. 13:25:23, and there's 13:25:22.
Okay.
So we're going back in time. Go down another page worth, and there's 13:25:21. So we're getting most recent at the top. Now this is. I
kind of need that on because I'm a insider.
You're an insider, okay. And that, yeah. So you might be getting more. You might be sending more to them. So this says web, WinNet, cache file IO. So we have, your computer's doing a lot of stuff right now. It's playing the YouTube video. It has a Zoom connection with me, and it's hosting a remote connection from me. So I'm wondering if that is all generating telemetry to Microsoft. Now there's nobody sitting at a desk watching what you're doing, spying on you. This is just that Microsoft collects information about what you do with your computer, so that when you have issues happening with your computer, through automated systems can compare the troubles you're having with other computers to try to find some commonality. Right. It's just crazy to think that there's people spying on you through this, actual human beings.
Yeah, no, that is crazy. I mean, I don't understand why they want to, but
yeah. But this telemetry does help Microsoft to be able to fix things that go wrong. They can find out about things that go wrong that you don't even know about. Now, as I keep going down here, I'm trying to get down to the bottom. There's the bottom. So it shows that 13:24 is when it started. So I think that's when I turned this on and enabled it. So it's been collecting ever since then. And we see app state change summary. So that indicates the state of an app. Maybe we changed from one screen to another. And there's a whole bunch of app state change items here. This stuff over here, when I click on any one of these, we get a whole bunch of stuff over here about it. Launch count, suspend count, resume count. So it's given a whole bunch of detailed information about what was going on at the time.
It looks like one of the apps crashed 4 times.
Where are you seeing that in here somewhere? Oh, crash count 4. Yeah. So what was that? When did that happen?
I don't know.
It didn't happen during our session. So now we don't know that means crash count is 4. That 4 might be some kind of a tolerance setting or some kind of a parameter for that option. We see 4s all through that. Every one of these things is set to 4. That seems highly unlikely. It sounds to me like that's some kind of...
I watched your video on Windows 11. I'm kind of excited for that to come out.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited, but not. I'm hoping that it's not much of a change, because I support.
A lot of people are putting it down, saying that Microsoft's lying to us, bullying us. I mean, if you ever watch Hausman, that's one video that he put up that I did not care for. He was bullying us and lying to us and all this. How does he know? You know.
So let me catch up with chat. So, Catherine, about your point about changing settings in group policy, I'm tempted for us to have Lee try to replicate the change that he made in his father-in-law's GP edit to see if we could get his computer to also say that it's managed by your organization. So, Catherine, I'm interested to see what your thought is on that. Do you think that's a good experiment so that we can then see how to reverse that? So I see some hellos back and forth. Switch off telemetry and you get issues with updates. Microsoft does not like it. Yeah, I already read that. Exactly. Issues with updates and message. Yeah, we're on the same page. Which Windows version is installed? This is Windows
10 21H1
Pro. 1021H1 Pro. Okay. If he's an insider, telemetry needs to be switched on, the full telemetry, not just basic telemetry. Yes, he and Lee already affirmed that. But the computer that's having the problem is your father-in-law. He's probably not in the insiders program.
No, he's not.
Okay.
Even though so, he's stating that he is, but he isn't, because I already checked all that. He's not even logged into it.
He's not logged into the insiders program. Fine. But when you said his telemetry is not working, so what I'm saying here is go into this screen on his computer.
Okay.
And if you find telemetry here, then his telemetry is working. Okay. That's really what I want to get to.
I'm going to have to go in and shut my backups off so they don't accidentally back it up while there's an error.
Oh, I'll go. Do you want to do that now?
Yeah, I guess gotta find my taskbar so I can get to where I need to be. There we go.
Okay.
Task manager. Because I gotta find my backup utility, because if that launches while we're doing that, and it's gonna create an image file.
All right.
And it's gonna be a major glitch. There it is. See all these right here?
Yeah. Well, if I were you, I'd go into Macrium Reflect and pause it from within there, because if you just in task here, it might be able to restart that.
That is a good point.
It looks like it's already running.
Actually, let me check that here. This box in my way.
Yeah, you should have it in the system tray. There it is. Yeah, just
running.
Try a right click on that and see if you can pause it or cancel it. Hide show.
Yes. Hold on.
No, try a double left click on it.
Hold on, I gotta move my camera.
All right.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, should do it. All right, there's a cancel button.
Yeah, we'll just start it back up. I do that. I'll just pause it.
Okay. That works. Then hide.
Because I hit cancel, it's just going to automatically restart it.
Yeah.
Okay, let me set my camera back up.
All right.
Is it out of focus or is it good?
It's good. Let's see. So yeah, Catherine's got a comment that we can use Group Editor to reset telemetry with a reset option. So that sounds pretty promising.
Okay.
Let's and then Gary to Catherine. There is still telemetry being used Windows 10. It's your license with Microsoft. Okay, so can you show us what you did in GP Edit on his computer that you think resulted in the message that your computer is managed by your organization?
Oh, that message was there. That's the reason why he came and got me last night.
Oh, it was already there.
All right. And I was trying to get rid of that message.
Okay, well then let's go into Group Editor and look for this option that Catherine's telling us about for resetting telemetry.
Okay, does she have the specific path where it is?
I'm sure she'll come up with that soon. We're waiting for you, Catherine. Hopefully you're at the keyboard. Let's take and maximize this and make this column wider so we can find our way through there better. So this is Local Group Policy Editor, and Gary has said gpedit.msc. That's what you're in, I believe.
Yep, it is.
I didn't watch you launch it. Did you launch it with Windows key R and then typing gpedit.msc?
No, I use a smart search on it, and it automatically.
Okay, that's fine. It gets the same thing.
Catherine,
I
have the smart search enabled on my machine, so it makes things easier.
Okay. So there is a delay on when viewers see and hear us, but it's only a few seconds.
That's not good.
And I'm seeing her respond to Gary. Maybe she's looking it up. Catherine, we are looking for you to give us some guidance on that telemetry, but I'm going to go ahead and turn my thoughts towards it while waiting for you. So she said you can use Group Editor to reset the telemetry with a reset option. So let me do this way. I've got the mouse for a minute.
Okay.
I'm going to come down to here's the video. So I'm going to come over here to Catherine's comment and drag through that to highlight Group Editor to reset telemetry with reset option. Control C to copy that. And then minimize that and go back to your browser, open a new tab, and paste that and see what we get in search results. How to manage telemetry settings in Windows 10 and collects a lot of data once the settings have been opened. Privacy, that's where we were at. Just restart your system. Oh, here's Group Policy in the Group Policy Editor. Okay, so that's talking about Group Policy Editor. Right click and open a new tab. Scrolling down. See, I'm just going to do Control F GP Edit, see if that finds one. It found one instance. If you're managing multiple systems, a good idea to use Group Policy Editor. In the Group Policy Editor, navigate to Computer Configuration, Administrator Templates, Windows, okay, yada, yada, yada. So I'm going to do a Windows key right arrow to move that to the right side of the screen, and then click on Group Policy Editor, and then maneuver to that location. Let me move this. Group Policy Editor, Computer Configuration, Administrative Templates, Windows Components, Data Collection, and preview builds.
There it is.
And double click
Allow
telemetry right here, appearing in the right pane. So there's a double click. Preview setting, next setting, not configured.
Select the enable checkbox.
Okay, here in this window, select enable checkbox. So it's interesting that it's not configured, and I think what this indicates is that you're getting, see, what is this we got down here, an advertisement or something?
Yeah, it is.
Bad. Oh, from the page that we were on. Okay, so I think what this is indicating is since it's not configured, we're just getting whatever defaults are for a non-managed computer. So I'm thinking if we enable this, that perhaps that's what makes this computer become a managed computer, managed by your organization. Taking a look at, let's see, Catherine's given us a link for Help Desk Geek, Gary to Catherine. Skipping over that, scroll down till you see how to complete disabled telemetry. And I do not use home, but there's a way to use GP edit on home. Okay, so 1041 in the chat. I think we're probably at the same place here that the link that Catherine gave us was going to get us to.
Okay, give me a second here. I want to shut my wallpaper down.
All right.
That's probably taking a lot of resources.
All right, could be. I don't think that's what's giving us that advertisement.
No, I'm just worried about the resources and memory as far as
okay, that's fine.
I mean, I got 32 gigs at 3200 speed, but that's...
Yeah. So what I'd like to do is enable telemetry here and see if that causes us to see a message on your computer saying that you're managed by your organization.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, so here now, in Catherine's next comment, let's see what we got here. Do you want to go ahead and finish dealing with your wallpaper thing?
Yeah.
And Catherine, I think it's backwards of what you're suggesting there. This is not the computer that's getting the message that says it's managed by your organization. That's his father-in-law's computer. I'm trying to replicate the symptom on Lee's computer so that we can see how to undo it. So I'm thinking because it's not configured, that means Group Policy Editor on this computer has not configured that setting, therefore his computer is using the default settings of Windows 10. But once we configure an option in Group Policy Editor, then Windows 10 may derive that this computer must be managed by the organization because it's had a group policy edit, which I think is consistent with what you were saying earlier, Catherine.
I might kill my engine for now.
Okay, are you done there?
Yeah, I just had to kill the engine.
Okay, so here we're going to click on Enable and OK.
That's going to require a restart.
Oh, for that to take effect? Well, that's okay. We can do a restart. I'll explain how that works to you. So let's go ahead and close things down. So that may mean that you're going to have to kill your wallpaper again. Let's see, this stuff here, we'll kill that. We'll close this. This view diagnostic data is still on. Now, before we restart, let's go look at update settings. Is that where you were seeing the message that says managed by organization on your father-in-law's computer? So we don't have that now on this computer. So the way the restart works is my remote connection will automatically restore itself. The Zoom session will not. When my remote connection to your computer resumes, I will reestablish the Zoom session.
Okay.
So you just wait for us. Let's close down some other things. So this is the YouTube video. Go ahead and shut that down. There's the Zoom session and the remote session. Okay, so here we go. I'm clicking on your start button and then power, and we'll see you back in a minute or two.
Okay.
All right. Whoop, he just started saying something. I cut him off. Let's see, seeing 6 viewers right now. One of those would be me, and one of them might still be Lee. Catching up on chat, 1041. Gary and Catherine talking back and forth about home versus pro a little bit. He's pro. His dad's PC is pro or home. He did tell us it's pro. His dad's PC is pro. Home doesn't have by default, but you can always cheat. I think that's true. I'm not real clear on that, but I know, Gary, you know what you're talking about, so yes. Catherine, because home sucks and group edit is not available on the home version, just with some tricks. Pro has access to group editor on the other hand. Gary, anyone hanging around, jump in the water's fine. Anyone hanging around, jump in the water's fine. Yeah, okay. That was to Catherine. Yes, I know, so do you. Okay, so I didn't quite follow part of that conversation. That's okay. And here is launch remote session. That will bring us back into Lee's computer, and then I'll click on the start button and type Zoom, enter, and join. Make this full screen. Click the drop-down list. Gary, I assume you have my cell phone number at hand that you can send me a text message if there's something I needed to be alerted to. Join with video. Okay, we're back. So I'm going to minimize your Zoom session.
I was able to kill that engine before you come back.
Okay, very good. Hide your Zoom, minimize Zoom video behind the picture-in-picture that I'm broadcasting. And then we'll minimize this Zoom panel and minimize my remote connection panel, pressing the Windows key, update.
Why don't you, there's a question.
Yeah.
Notified you, I did have TeamViewer on you. I'm surprised you didn't utilize that.
No, I use the Log Me In Rescue a lot. I pay money for it. I'm very familiar with it. I know what I can and can't do with it, so I prefer to use my home turf.
Okay, I understand.
All right, so you're up to date. Looking for info on latest updates. Nothing here about managed by organization. I don't know where we need to go to see that happen. I don't think it actually would show up here until we try to do something that it cares about. Let's see. Gary says sound and looks good. Chat equals water. Oh, okay. Gary is saying anyone hanging around in watching the video, jump in the waters, meaning chat. Say hello in chat. Well, I'm seeing we have 7 concurrent viewers, so we may have already seen everybody in chat. It is you two, Lee and Doug and Catherine, Anna Hausman, and 14 more not joining in. I don't see the 14 more. I see 7 watching. So here, we just did check for updates. So advanced options, if we try making changes, will we get a message about your managed by organization? Yeah, I don't think what we did actually triggered that managed by organization thing.
And usually when my computer gets that, it completely collapses Windows Defender and collapses Windows Update, where it corrupts it completely.
I didn't understand that. Repeat that.
When I get that managed by organization, it collapses Windows Defender and collapses my Windows Updater, so it's completely corrupted.
On your computer?
Yep. It kills both of them.
Okay, I'm going to make you repeat that again. When you do what? It collapses both of those?
When I get that managed by organization.
How did you do that? How do you do that on your computer? That's what I'd like to see.
It was certain software I was installing was causing the issue, and I figured out which one it was, which is it was a game called Spider-Man.
Okay. So you're installing a game onto your computer, and you got to that state of saying that your computer is managed by organization.
Yeah.
That, I'm guessing, was a separate experience from your father-in-law's experience.
Yes.
Okay.
At that time, my father-in-law had no issues with his. And this right here was like 3 or 4 months ago. I was installing Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions.
Okay.
What had happened is it went through, did a reboot, and it come up. Windows Defender, Windows Update completely collapsed, completely corrupted from me installing that one game. I removed it, and everything came back.
Windows updates came back normal. Okay.
And one time I even got on the horn with Microsoft themselves. I wanted the techs look it over. They said it's completely corrupted. They sent me to the website to get a new ISO for my media flash drive to reinstall Windows myself.
Okay. All right. So I think that's not related to the thing with your father-in-law's computer. So what we've been trying to do, I see Zvi Manor. Hi, Zvi Manor. Just joined in the chat. Or maybe he just piped in and said hello. Maybe he's been watching. And then Jimmy Walbert says, hi, Catherine. Slow day at the computer repair shop here. Been tuned in for a few. This problem usually occurs from some type of malware, possibly here. Now, again, this is on a different computer. We're not connected to the computer that has the problem.
I actually tend to agree with him on that one. I believe it is malware came through the email.
Okay, came through the email. You think so? All right.
And I can't find the cause of the malware or where it's hidden. It could be deep in the system, and there's no way of tracking it.
Okay. Well, the session that I have scheduled tomorrow is has similar symptoms, where it has the phrase that says its PC is managed by your organization and Windows Defender does not appear to be properly operating. And this happened around the time or in conjunction with uninstalling, I think it was Super Anti-Spyware and Malwarebytes. So
I think Malwarebytes will destroy the coding in Windows 10, because when Windows 10 has a Linux underbelly.
You're saying Malwarebytes will destroy code in Windows 10?
Yeah, it will destroy.
I'm suspecting that's a minor opinion. Malwarebytes is a major company in the security field. I can't imagine that anybody installing Malwarebytes is going to have a corruption happen in Windows 10. Maybe that is happening, but I do know that anytime uninstalling a third-party security product, I've found numerous troubles, and that may be what you're describing there.
Maybe.
It may be, yeah. So, what is it that we're going to accomplish further on this point? I don't see anything else. I'm kind of inclined to reverse that change in GP Edit for your computer, although you certainly know how to do that yourself. As far as your father-in-law's computer, my first next thing for you is watch our session tomorrow, where we're going to have a live opportunity to try to fix that issue, and that might help you with your father-in-law's computer.
I work at 10:30 tomorrow morning.
So yeah, you won't be. Well, let's see. When is that? That was going to be. I'm going to have to look up what we're talking about on time for that. I'll get to that in a moment. catching up with.
I mean, if you want, we can go into GP edit and change that if you wish, but I'm
Go,
not
why don't you? Why don't you?
It
Why
didn't
don't you
affect anything, so.
say again?
I'm not too worried about it. It didn't affect anything.
Yeah, I'm not
I
either.
can still go in and change it real quick.
My only thinking about changing it back is because 4 or 5 months from now you have a problem with your computer and you may not recollect that it could be related to this. So just a matter of setting your computer back to normal settings. Now there was something else about a specific way that Catherine, I think, was referring to some kind of a reset. Sound like a reset button.
Now let's look that up real quick. My old friend here.
Okay, so I'm not watching you right now. I'm doing something else. So, yeah. So Catherine said at 10:33 in the chat. So wherever you are in the world, just click at the 33-minute mark. If you turn on timestamps, she said you can use Group Editor to reset the telemetry with the reset option. So I didn't see something that I would call the reset option. So maybe Catherine, you let us know if we missed something there about a reset option. And then trying to catch up with chat messages. How to complete disable telemetry, GP editor, we're not interested in that, I don't think. Maybe also occur, right, heard that part. Link for Lee, then Malwarebytes, adware cleaner, ADW cleaner. Run it on your father's PC.
Yeah, I think we missed something here.
Malwarebytes not causing the issue. PC has to be restarted. About changes in group editor, we did that. Oh, Bertlin Hope's here. Hi, Bertlin.
We had somebody ask about what kind of Windows my father-in-law is running. It was Home or Pro. He's running Pro just like me.
Yeah, I told him that while you were rebooting your computer. Jimmy, here's a tool. Jimmy Walbert, here's a tool I use sometimes when I get crazy problem. Jimmy, if you're trying to post a link, you need moderators. So I'm going to go ahead and make you a moderator. My policy on moderators is basically anybody that's trying to post links that are helpful and on topic, I'll make you moderator. But I'd ask you not to hide people or hide comments or time them out. Don't do any of that stuff. I want to do that myself. So try that link again. Catherine saying she sent a link at 12:50. So going back to look at 50, that was for the helpdeskgeek.com. So I see you're on the YouTube video. I've got your mouse a minute there, Lee. Okay. And I'm going to turn on your timestamps, toggle timestamps, so that we go to that one that Catherine's referring to at 50. So use the scroll bar. There's the scroll bar to go to 150 for your time zone. So this is the link that she was referring to. So I'll just click that link. That'll open a new tab for us. How to disable Windows telemetry. Oh no, I don't see that we're interested in that. Why would we want to disable telemetry? Or maybe that's where we get to the reset option you're talking about. So I did a Control F and reset. No, the word reset doesn't occur in there. Yeah, so Catherine, I don't know why you're directing us to disabling Windows 10 telemetry. We're not asking to do that. So you could go ahead and explain that if I'm missing something. Then go back to catch up with chat. Jimmy, it's tweakin.com's all in. Jimmy, you have moderator status now. Just go ahead and paste the link. And then Gary Kaspersky, not that I want to use it. I had to sign affidavits for 3 different government agencies that we will not use it. Okay, so here's Jimmy's.
Put a link up. It looks like from Malwarebytes.
There was one for Malwarebytes for a cleaner, for an AW cleaner. So let's take a look at what Jimmy's telling us about here. Windows Repair Free Pro. Okay. I think he was just saying that this is something that he uses. He says, here's a tool I use sometimes when I get a crazy problem. If you think it, I presume, would help. Okay.
One question I have is if it's dangerous as far as the operating.
Yeah. I don't see that we have any motivation to do that because again, your computer's not the one with the problem.
And I definitely don't want to bug that out.
Yeah, and also, I'm really get suspicious of products and sites that I don't know well enough, and
I don't even
what else?
see a registry as far as like registering with major corporations or protections like the ADA and all that.
Okay, let's pop out your chat so that we can keep looking at it without having that picture-in-picture mess going on.
I'm taking you're using what's that called? OBS?
No, I'm using XSplit.
I've tried to run XSplit on my machine. It won't work.
Oh, really?
It says it's not supported.
I had troubles with OBS on my computer. I tried it and I had problems with it working with my capture devices. So I went with XSplit. I'm not arguing XSplit being better than OBS. It's just I got
OBS
going with XSplit and I got great support from them. So I just stick with that. And then Zvi Manner to Catherine, not necessary, can be changed with a command DP update force. Okay, so let's turn our attention back to you and get off of the subject of your father-in-law's computer. You originally sent me an email saying that you wanted to, well, let's see, it's in the description below the video.
I want to talk tech with you.
Yeah, you said you want to talk tech. You're a computer person. You're looking to just learn things. So how about, are there other topics you want to talk about?
The main one I really want to talk about is your thoughts and opinion on this new Windows 11. Where do you think it's going to head? What kind of changes do you think it's going to do for worldwide? Is it going to offer more security? Is it going to offer better performance for computers worldwide? Is it going to be more compatible with more hardware?
Okay, I can respond. I can respond to all of that. Of course, there's a lot of people with speculations all over the map. So mine is speculation too, and my speculation is that this is basically just a next feature update for Windows 10, but they're making enough. They're making some appearance changes to the extent. And we're getting close to that 10-year anniversary date of Windows 10. And it's essentially a rebranding. I think if they were to continue with the name Windows 10 and just and implement these visual changes, you know, rounded corners and centered taskbar and so on, it could be called Windows 10 for another 10 years and still be the same product that we're going to get with Windows 11. Now, Mary Jo Foley from Windows Weekly thinks that Windows 10 and Windows 11 are going to be running side by side for a period of time. and particularly because she thinks that businesses want to stay with Windows 10 because businesses are going to be upset to go to Windows 11. Well, I think they're going to be so closely the same that it's not really going to be a duplication of effort for Microsoft to do security patches for both channels. I think Windows 11 is going to be so close to Windows 10 that you can just make some settings changes and make Windows 11 look pretty darn similar to Windows 10. As far as security enhancements, no, I don't see that at all, except for one. Here, and I'm actually not happy about this one, if it is true, is I've heard from some parties where they tried to do a fresh install of this leaked copy on a computer, and it refuses to install, saying you can't install on this computer because you have to have TPM, is Trusted Platform Module 2.0 installed. So Trusted Platform Module 2.0, as I understand it, is a capability within your BIOS and a settings change in your BIOS.
BitLocker.
That, yeah, you have to use it for BitLocker, but it ties, I think even if you don't use BitLocker, I think you could use TPM 2.0 and it ties, well, actually no, you would have to use BitLocker. It makes that hard drive or that mass storage unreadable in another computer. So trusted platform, the trust is your physical computer. If somebody takes that device out of that computer, tries to access those files from another computer, they can't do it. So when I just ate my words there and said, yeah, you'd have to do BitLocker because it would have to be encrypted on that drive. If it's not encrypted, then you should be able to connect it to another computer and be able to access those files. I don't like that because I have had times when I come across a computer that won't boot and would try to repair the boot files and unable to, and we need to get the data off of that computer. Yes, the people should be doing backups, but we know that doesn't always happen. So I can connect that drive to another computer and access the data files. Now, it's actually been a long time since I've had to do that, but that's, yeah, if Windows 11 requires TPM, then that would be an issue. Now, it's quite possible that that configuration only exists on that developer's copy of Windows 11 because Microsoft is giving that copy to developers, and I think that really means hardware manufacturers, so they could test it out with their computers. And Microsoft programmed that copy of Windows 11 so that it can only be installed on one computer, and perhaps to be able to prevent that from being installed on other computers. But now this leaked copy, it is working on other computers. So I don't know that, but I would be unhappy if Windows 11 requires that. Now let me finish this. I have also had people tell me that they've been able to upgrade an existing Windows 10 computer that does not have TPM and does not use BitLocker. They've been able to upgrade an existing computer just fine. So that's there's that.
My system has TPM in it, but it's messed up every time I go to activate it. It blue screens.
Blue screens when you try to activate TPM on your computer?
Yeah, on the board.
Okay.
It's built into the board, which my process controls that. And every time I go to do it, it says I can't find Windows and blue screens me.
Well, I would think that you have to enable TPM and BitLocker before installing Windows on the drive. I wouldn't think that you could change that afterwards, but I don't know. This is not an area that I'm an expert in. So I'm looking back over here at your...
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on that.
Oh, you've been keeping an eye on chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been. I didn't tell you, but we've got the Zoom window open now is what's being broadcast. Your computer screen isn't on the video. So I'm looking back at chat. It's 10:45.
And there's one part I do agree with as far as the Windows 11 thing. It probably clearly for marketing. You know, They have to make a dime here and there too.
Okay, yeah. So here's Jimmy talking about that tool that he gave us a link to. And Gary and maybe businesses have been beta testing for 6 months Windows 365. TPM hardware is hardware. BitLocker needs TPM. You don't need to have BitLocker on. That's from Sam Van Thiel. Hi, Sam. I hadn't seen you until now. Glad to see you. It's just available. Okay. And Gary, to me, with TPM, you do not need to use BitLocker. We run TPM and you can change the M.2 without problem. Okay, so they run TPM and don't use BitLocker. And so, Gary, can you take a drive out of a computer that has TPM and connect it by USB to another computer and access the files? And if yes, then I'm not fully on board with the purpose of TPM. What does it do for us? And Gary says yes, you can do that. So I need to do some learning about TPM, I think. It hasn't come across my need for my business clients, so I haven't. All right, so that...
Yeah, man, I'm pulling something up for you.
Your question, yeah, you're pulling something up, but going back to your question about my thoughts on Windows 11, did I answer that?
Yes, you did.
All right. Oh, so you're okay. So you're doing a Google search. What is TPM?
Yeah, I brought up RPM, but RPM,
oh, what is RPM? Yeah.
Yeah, somebody brought up RPM as a TPM.
It should have known what you meant.
There you go.
All right, I'm going to minimize the zoom because I have your computer on screen again, and I'm going to drag this over this way. TPM stands for Trusted Platform Module. It's a chip on your computer's motherboard that helps enable tamper-resistant full disk encryption without requiring extremely long passphrases. Okay, so its purpose, just from this little blurb, is to help enable tamper-resistant full disk encryption. Well, that sounds like BitLocker.
Yeah, just without the program.
Yeah, so, well, it helps enable tamper-resistant encryption, but it is not tamper-resistant encryption alone.
Right.
By itself. You have to do something else on top of it. So it sounds like Trusted Platform Module is just the under the covers engine to be able to have encryption. But if you don't apply the encryption, is there any point for it?
Right. Is there any point to have it enabled, or should you have it disabled if you're not using it?
Yeah. So here's Gary's responding. It allows your security software to access the motherboard hardware. Okay. Keyword is help. And Gary says no. And I'm thinking that he's saying no, it doesn't do anything for us without having something on top of it. Some security software or encryption. That makes sense. That fits with what my impression was.
I got another stump for all of you.
Okay.
You see security device on Device Manager?
Yes, security devices.
Anyway, can anyone explain that? It's been on my computer and I don't even know what it is.
Oh, you're asking if we can explain it. Okay, so AMD PSP 3.0 device. And the question is, what is that? And I doubt that I'm going to see any clue in here, but I'm going through here anyway because mostly I'm giving chat a chance to tell us what they know about that. If we don't find something, we'll go Google it. And there's a whole bunch of stuff coming through on chat. So from Sam, TPM, I'll assume that's a typo, is hardware that is required to turn on BitLocker encryption. Only when a drive is encrypted, you need a key to unlock the drive. The same TPM is the key for the system as long as you don't. Yeah, that makes sense. Sam, disconnect the drive. I think he's doing a correction there to something he typed. Unlock the drive or disconnect the drive. You need a key to disconnect the drive. Catherine says we need to wait for the 6/24/2021, so that's the Windows 11 announcement. Yes, certainly. I intend to watch that live. It starts at 8 a.m. my time. And then Sam works together with Secure Boot. Yep, that fits. And then Catherine's asking, did you install the AMD chipset driver? That's her question to you. And you're saying, yes, you did. And I'm guessing that has something to do with that driver. So let's, let me see.
I tried using it. I just don't know what it's for. I know what the TPM portion of it is, but I can't use it because it blue screens me. But that one, I have no clue what it was for.
Okay.
I know.
So now here, when you try to turn enable TPM in your BIOS, and that causes your hard drive to blue screen. So my first was that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So my response to that was I thought you had to turn that on and then format the drive. So chat, can you respond to that? Okay, is it okay to enable TPM after you have an installed version of Windows 10 on a hard drive working? I think that's going to cause a blue screen because that's not the right sequence of events. So Catherine says there's a new version out for your AMD driver. But before we do that, I want to take a look at just searching that.
I have always BIOS installed.
AMD PSP 3.0. You have always BIOS installed? Was that to update
all the newest ones? Yeah.
All the newest. Okay. AMD PSP 3 device. Windows cannot initialize. I'm not enough of a bind right now. That's a community. Here, this one down here is AMD. From deprecated AMD USB 3.0. Not seeing.
Yeah, just put a link up.
Okay, we'll go to that in a moment. AMD Platform Security Processor. So there's what the acronym is. Platform Security Processor. Officially known as AMD Secure Technology is a, and then it kind of messes up the search result there. So Catherine has got a link to AMD. Let's use her link. Catherine says BIOS is not the chipset driver, Lee. Okay, well, fair point. So she's saying your BIOS update and your chipset drivers are two different things. I'm guessing you may already know that. Yes? No?
I do. Yes, I do.
Okay. So maybe we'll need to confirm that the versions are up to date to satisfy Catherine. I know she can grab onto a subject matter and hold on to it for a while. We'll call that persistent.
Yeah, I like criticism, so it's good.
Yeah, that's right. Then we'll chat. We'll be thorough and check it out. So this is the
download
link.
It and install it for her just to satisfy everybody.
Okay, so this is the link that she gave us, I think, regarding that. Oh, this is for the driver. Oh, yeah, okay. So 64-bit edition. So it looks like we want to go here. AMD chipset drivers.
No, I do not have that version. I have 2.15.
You have chipset drivers 2.15. Okay.
Yes.
So you are behind on that. All right. Now, we're not, but we're not trying to fix a problem on your computer.
Right. This is just a driver issue. I mean, all I'll do is download it and install it later.
Yeah. Okay. So we've brought that to your attention. I think we're going to pass on downloading that now. He knows how to download chipset drivers and can finish that. We're not trying to fix something on his computer. And Catherine's saying it doesn't hurt. Yes, we both agree on that. We'll let him do that on his own, though. So this PSP, you were asking what is that?
Yeah,
And we got on the trail of that over here, and we need to go look at more detail about it. It was this one down here. Oh, that's a Wikipedia. And so I'm going to write.
Wikipedia would probably be your best bet because they'll give the best explanation what it is.
Who does?
Wikipedia usually.
You liking Wikipedia? I kind of like it too. It's peer reviewed. People can find and correct things. Officially known as AMD Secure, trusted execution environment, according to AMD developers, subsystem responsible for creating, monitoring functions, initialize various security related, monitoring systems for suspicious activity. Critics worry you could be used as a backdoor and is a security concern. Okay, so it adds an extra level of security in the AMD world. Yeah. Is that a fair summary?
That is a fair summary, and Cass and I do agree with you. I probably should try that and see if new chipset driver will work.
Will work for what? What problem? Not that you have to have a problem to do it. I'd say, right. Yes, go ahead and do it. But you don't have a problem you're trying to fix.
It, so I will.
Yeah, absolutely.
I definitely will update it.
Absolutely. Now, the piece, I haven't seen anybody respond about, Catherine, she says, I'm very persistent. Sorry, that is not to apologize about. And please don't think I'm picking on you. I am.
Hey, you're good.
I'm complimenting you. But we haven't had a response in the chat about you trying to turn on TPM in your BIOS and then getting a blue screen when your previously existing Windows fails to boot. I think that's expected. I think you need to turn TPM on before you format the drive. So does somebody agree or disagree with that? Now, Sam Van Thiel says yes. And Sam, I'm sorry, I don't know if you're responding to that question or something previously.
There's one more thing I got to throw out there I completely forgot to mention, and that is my system's heavily overclocked.
Your system is heavily overclocked. Okay. Sam says, no, that is not needed. Sam says yes on the summary. On the summary. I'm sorry, Sam, I need a full sentence, not referring to something that has previously been said. Yes on the summary. No, that is not needed. I think, okay, so I said summary. I know, when he says summary, he's referring to my summary of the platform security processor. He's agreeing to that. I'll get you. I think that, yeah, I think that's clear. Sorry, Sam, I have to think back to what are you referring to, summary? I had to think back a few minutes to when I used that word. But still I haven't seen anybody respond about turning TPM on and getting a blue screen when you then try to boot your drive. Then Sam is confirming, yes on the summary from the AMD security thing. Got you. No to the TPM. The TPM can be turned on later. Okay.
So there must be a problem with my chipset then, because every time I turn it on, it blue screens it.
Okay, well maybe the update to the drivers, maybe that'll make a difference for you.
I can try it. I mean, I just don't want to bug my system out, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we're going to let you do that on your own. We're approaching an hour and a half. And I like that length of video. So if you don't have any other burning questions, I think I'd like to.
No, I just wanted to find out what your thought process was on Windows 11, and find out a few more things about some of these hardware that I don't know what it's about. I gotta look into this TPM issue, see if Oris can do something for me or what. If I have to reach out to them, tell them that part of the chip is broke or what.
Okay. So I'm just turning my thoughts towards the Windows 11 thing and see if there's anything else. You know, I did a Windows 11 what was it, speculations a few weeks ago, and then I did the session yesterday where we actually worked on Windows 11.
I watched that session.
You did. Okay, great. And I saw also the video that Kerry Holzman made yesterday, and you made reference to it already on his thoughts about it. So it's going to be fun to see what happens.
Personally, I think Microsoft is taking a cue from Apple.
Well, you know what? I kind of differ on that a little bit in the sense that Microsoft has used version numbers all along, and Apple never did.
No, they didn't. I mean,
they always use those
as the layout of the windows, the way things laid out.
Oh, yeah. The taskbar looks more like Apple. Sure, agreed with that.
But Apple's UI has always been successful, so I don't see why they wouldn't, you know?
And something that I don't think I wound up mentioning yesterday in the video when we were looking at Windows 11 is the Windows 11 logo. It looks square to me. It's all square. It's 4 squares. It has square corners, and they're making this big deal about rounded corners in Windows 11, and they come up with a logo for Windows that is not only takes away the artistic shape of the previous logos, it just goes 4 perfectly square boxes.
Yeah, they should have
with square corners
a little bit better.
So I'm not impressed with that.
No, I'm not either.
Logo.
I got one more question for you, but before we get out of here. Now, I read and heard a lot that they said when they created Windows 10, they actually went back. They kind of took a back step on it because Windows Vista had Aura. Windows Vista had the rating system. Windows XP, same thing. Windows 7 had Aura in it, but they took Aura out when they created Windows 10. Now took stained glass out.
They took what out? I missed the word you were saying a few times.
The Aura.
Aura.
Which was in Windows Vista, Windows 7. And they also took stained glass out when they created Windows 10. They took all 3 of those out. And also the rating system for your computer.
The rating system. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. That rating system was removed.
And stained glass was also removed.
Okay. Stained glass. I don't know what you're referring to when you say stained glass.
It was a theme that was built for Windows Vista.
A scene?
A theme.
A theme. Oh, okay, a theme. Yeah, I've never explored the themes a whole lot. So they took out the stained glass. Yeah, you know, when they changed wallpaper, just about every edition, they would change the wallpapers and the screensavers and all that kind of stuff. And that caused me a little bit of grief when I would upgrade a client's computer and they don't like change. You know, they like it to stay the same. So I try to make everything look similar to the way it used to, but I can't give them the same wallpapers and screensavers. I had some clients unhappy about that. They're minor points, but people that like their computer at their work desk, they like it to be stable and consistent. And
I understand that.
Yeah, that's something I haven't been happy about from one version change to another. So I expect that, well, we've already seen that. Those changes are there with Windows 11. And so but that again is just fluff. That's lipstick. That's just
a mask.
Aesthetic things that are changed. Now, one thing that was pointed out yesterday that seems to be changed is we couldn't move the taskbar to another part of the screen. But that's kind of a more significant change.
Yeah,
and it's just something they just took it away.
Yep, they did.
We're not going to let you do that anymore. I don't understand why they take things away from us. And I'm unhappy about
imagine
that.
you can go into policy editor and change that so you can move that around.
Maybe. So taking a last look at chat, and then we'll end this. Which X? I have some X cats, which let's see. That's people talking back and forth. I think the businesses are scared to be upgrading to 11, but on the other side, I don't see them testing the thing they need to test for their organization. I could not afford to have X. Okay, so they, the notion that Windows 10 may continue side by side with Windows 11 for a while is that Microsoft has a page on their site for the end of life thing where they promise they will support at least one edition of Windows 10 until a particular date in 2025. So if they make Windows 11 available for seekers within the next few months or next year, whenever it is, then there's going to have to be a period of time where they're running side by side. But they're already running different versions of Windows 10 side by side. I mean, we have 21H1, we'll have 21H2, we still have 20H2 available, and we still have 2004 still supported. So
and 1908 still
they are
supported as well.
Say again?
1908 still supported as well.
I don't think so. It's gone. It went out in May last month.
Huh.
It reached end of life. It's over with. If you're on 1909, you're getting message saying this version is no longer supported. Yeah, I'm very sure about that. And Catherine has said the same thing. Yeah, 1909 is no longer supported. So what they've been doing, they've been supporting 3 or 4 or maybe 5 and sometimes different versions at the same time. So I'm saying Windows 11 is just Windows 10, maybe it's 21H2, but it's not, because I wouldn't be surprised if we have a Windows 11 21H2 and a Windows 10 21H2. Or it might not come till 22. So it might be Windows 10 22H1 and Windows 11 21H1. I'd like to see them use that same numbering scheme because we're used to it. We're accustomed to it. So that would be a parallel track that would make sense. If they totally scrap the 21H1 numbering scheme, that numbering pattern, if they do something totally different with Windows 11, I'm not going to be happy about that. Okay, so there's more stuff in chat. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, they're talking about cars now, it looks like.
Yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this up. I invite you to send me an email to do another session anytime you're interested in doing that. I still have plenty of room to do more live stream sessions. So I'm going to reach over on your computer and click you out of the Zoom session.
Okay.
And then I'm going to end the remote session. I'm going to wrap up.
Then I can remove the remote thing, right?
The remote, it won't stay persistent. When I end the remote connection, there will be nothing residual on your computer.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go. Say, take a look at your camera, please, and say goodbye to the chat room.
Bye, y'all. Nice talking to y'all.
Now look at the camera. Look at the camera. The camera's to your right. There you go. Now you're looking at them, right?
I'll have to talk to you guys real soon again.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so there is a session. Here is my email address if you'd like to reach out to me for anything. I'm just ending the remote connection. And thank you everybody in chat for being with us. And let's see, what's my next? My next is tomorrow morning, 12 noon with Bertland. And then in the afternoon, I've got a session scheduled. I don't have it published yet as a scheduled session. And so I want to tell you about that. Oh, Ken Stout, I think, isn't it? I think we discussed doing a Saturday session, and I'm not sure I know the time right now. I don't think I've seen Ken in the chat. So anyway, you'll just have to go check my channel, or if you're getting notifications, I don't know how reliable they are. To check my channel, you can type in your address bar, youtube.com/LWTDB. So that's the name of the channel. Live Windows Training DougBetts is LWTDB. And that'll take you to where you can see what I have scheduled. I'll try to put up that scheduled session today if I can figure out what time it's going to be. All right, that's all. I hope this was useful. Have a great day. Catch you later. Goodbye.